okay with that? No? Okay. I'm Anjanette Levy coming to you live from CrimeCon, where we are gearing up for the Clue Awards, which will start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of the Law and Crime Network. We are having a blast down here in Orlando, and the Clue Awards is really an event that honors the best in true crime, whether it's a podcast or a show. We also have some detectives. There's a contest called America's Greatest Detective, and we are really excited about that here at Law and Crime. We were a part of that. So I want to introduce you to some of the people who are here at CrimeCon, who've traveled a long way to be here this year to really experience everything that CrimeCon has to offer. This is Brooke. We were speaking just a minute ago. Hi, Brooke. You came here all the way from California.
Yes.
So tell me, why did you come to CrimeCon, and is this your first time?
Yes, this is my first time. My friend Courtney actually talked us into coming. She was there last year. She really liked it, and we decided we wanted to join her this year.
What has been your favorite part so far?
Ooh, there's been so many good panels. I got to sit in on the panel this morning with Paul Holes and some of the survivors of Golden State Killer. That was a really cool panel to be in. Super emotional and nice to hear from them, from their side of the story.
Yeah, very interesting. Are there other ones that you maybe attended that you weren't really looking for when you got here, but then you popped in and said, oh, I really enjoyed this?
Yeah, actually the Waco panel that the FBI agent did, that one was really, really neat. I wasn't expecting to go to that one. I just kind of followed along, and it ended up being a really cool panel that I got to sit in.
Very amazing. Do you think you'll come back to Nashville's CrimeCon in May of next year, the end of May?
I'm debating it. I'm trying to talk my mom into coming with me because she worked in LA County probation for 40 years. So she just retired, and I'm trying to talk her into going with me next year because she loves this kind of stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Brooke. Let's get your friend in here too. Hi, friend. What's your name, friend?
Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Are you from California as well?
No, I used to live there. I currently live in Chicago.
Okay. Is this your first CrimeCon?
This is my second.
Yes. How is it rating so far?
Absolutely incredible. I think I've only been to 2, but I think it gets better every year. So.
What has been your favorite part of the event so far?
So far, gosh, that's hard to pick, but I'm going to go with Josh Mankiewicz. He always makes us smile. We love him.
They say he's the unofficial mayor, really the official mayor of CrimeCon. So yes. You really enjoyed his panel.
Yeah, it was just entertaining, a lot of great stories. Love to hear everything he shares with us.
Are you going to the Clue Awards tonight?
I am, yes.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to as far as the Clue Awards go?
One of my favorite things about the Clue Awards is finding new podcasts, new documentaries, things I may not have heard of that, I can add to that queue and start checking them off.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you talking with us. Do you think you'll be coming back next year in Nashville?
Absolutely. I just bought my ticket before I came here, so.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, ladies, for talking with us. We really appreciate it. We want to really give you a live look at what it looks like out here. We are here. It's really a VIP cocktail party right before the Clue Awards begin, and everybody's just out here having a good time. I know we were mingling today. We were out with a lot of people, talking with them at our table. So many people coming up, talking about how much they enjoy watching Law and Crime, and we've made a lot of new friends while we've been here as well. So it's been a really exciting weekend, a great weekend. And there's still much more to come. Of course, we're going to have the Clue Awards streaming right here on our YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You won't want to miss that. And we're going to be introducing you to some of the nominees for America's Greatest Detective. So they will be down here in a few minutes with us, talking with us, and we're going to tell you more about them. One in particular I'm very excited about because he was a part of a murder trial that we covered here on Law and Crime in the last couple of years, and he did some great work on that case. Let's go over and see if we can find maybe a few more people. Oh, and look who I just found here. The executive producer of Law and Crime is with me, Kathy Russin. Kathy, you are live on YouTube. Tell us, you've been to many, many crime cons. How has this rated?
I have. I think this is my 5th CrimeCon. This is by far the biggest. This is the biggest one I've been to. The most people speaking, the most known people. This place is crazy. This is like the largest Marriott in the world or something.
It is ginormous.
It's been super fun, super crazy, super chaotic.
And we've had a great time here. And I was just telling the audience how many new friends we've made here during this weekend.
It's been so great. It's been so great. And we have one of our detectives that you're going to interview here in a minute.
And we are so excited about that. We can't wait to introduce the audience to our America's Greatest Detective nominees. We will have them here with us in just a moment. One of the things that I know we've really enjoyed here so much, aside from talking with so many of the people who watch us here on Law and Crime and meeting new friends and introducing people to us, is our Sidebar podcast. It is on YouTube every day, as you know. Also, you can download it on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever else you get your podcasts. We did a live show from here on Friday, and we were so overwhelmed by the response, and so many people showed up to listen to us talk about Gilgo Beach, the Long Island serial killer case. Jesse Weber was with me, of course, and Joe Giacalone, a retired NYPD sergeant, and it was really a great show, and we will be bringing that to you in the next coming days. As Kathy mentioned, we have one of our detectives, our America's Greatest Detective nominees. Detective Troy Looney of the Akron Police Department is with us. You know, Detective Looney, were you surprised when you found out you were nominated to be one? You were?
Yes, I was.
Why were you so surprised?
Didn't expect it. Appreciate it very much, and it was just an honor to be here. My first CrimeCon and first nomination. So
you've been a police officer for a really long time, and so this is something you do every day for your job. You work cases, you work to find the truth. Have you been surprised by the response here at CrimeCon and the fact that this event even exists and that people come out to see people like you?
Yes, very surprised and very appreciative, and it's really good to see the entire crime community or true crime community and the networks, how it meshes together and works in collaboration. So really, really much needed, and I'm learning also still.
Let's talk about the case for which you were nominated. It was a very sad case. So we covered the trial on Law and Crime, and I'm sure our viewers remember you testifying. Tell us a little bit about the case and the defendant.
Okay. Stanley Ford, there were two fires, obviously, 2016, 2017, that took place in Akron, Ohio. And Mr. Ford initially was not necessarily on our radar, but there were multiple suspects or persons of interest at that time. So the first year's fire was not initially solved, still an open, active case, leading up until 2017 with my investigation and the other team. We were able to collaborate, put that together, and he became the primary person of interest, where we were able to get clues and all the video surveillance, multiple interviews, crime scene, digital forensics, and so forth, and in collaboration with arson, state fire marshals, FBI, and so forth, to get a solution and find him guilty.
Was it a difficult case to work?
Absolutely, yes it was, because we had so many persons of interest, so many pieces that we had to get together in as fast as we could, essentially, with while working to determine whether there was accelerants or not, and then just a tireless effort by the whole team, including myself.
And you did win the conviction.
Yes, we did. Yes, he received 9 life sentences plus 20 years.
Just a really awful, awful case, and very sad for the people who lost their lives.
Yes, it was. Yes, the 7 victims and the family dog also. Very sad. But
introduce us to your lovely wife here. She looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi. How are you enjoying your first CrimeCon?
I love it.
What has been your favorite part, aside from your husband being nominated?
Everything. I mean, just experiencing it and seeing everybody. Just seeing everybody. Just
a lot of energy, a lot of excitement here. Well, we will let you enjoy the lovely cocktail party here, and we wish you the best of luck tonight, and look forward to seeing you at the Clue Awards, and thank you so much. All right, enjoy yourselves. So he is one of the nominees for America's Greatest Detective, and he's talking right now to my Law and Crime Sidebar co-host, Jesse Weber, who will be presenting an award today, too. So we'll talk with Jesse in just a few minutes. But one of the things that's really great about CrimeCon is the fact that there's such a focus on victims. I don't really want to put the spotlight on them too much right now, but the Gabby Petito Foundation, you will recall Gabby Petito was missing back in 2021, a horrific case. Her remains ended up being found in the Grand Teton National Park. Her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, admitted to murdering her, and his remains were later found. And Gabby Petito's family has really taken this opportunity, her passing, to raise awareness about domestic violence issues, because that was a huge part of her case and her passing. So it was very sad, and they're over here enjoying themselves tonight, over to my right, and there are many events going on this weekend, or at least there are a couple of events to raise money for the Gabby Petito Foundation. Now, as I mentioned, we have somebody here who all of our Law and Crime viewers know. He is Jesse Weber, my co-host here on Law and Crime Sidebar.
This is great.
It's an imposter. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good
This
to
is
see
the
you.
artificial intelligence, Jesse. But no,
Jesse
really,
Weber.
this is him in the flesh.
Sidebar. Crime, Law and Crime.
His hair.
To be honest with you, if I may, Anjanette,
Yes. Oh, take
this
the mic.
is very dangerous for me. It's humid out. I'm a presenter at the Clue Awards. I can only be out here for 10 minutes before it starts curling up.
Yes.
Let me just say, you've done a terrific job. I love being on our live sidebar podcast in front of a big audience.
And I was just telling everybody that it will be posting at some point in the next coming days. So it should be very cool when everybody gets to see it.
Because it was about Gilgo Beach. It was about Ruby Frankie. I thought we had Joseph Jackalone, who was absolutely terrific. We had some great questions. So I'm excited for everybody to see it. I don't know how you feel, but I'll just tell you right now, never been to CrimeCon before. The reception has been incredible. You know, it's one thing to put our content out there. We know people are watching it, but to have that feedback and speak to people has been absolutely incredible. We thank our supporters, and everybody's been so kind coming over to the booth, right?
Yeah, we've had a great
Oh,
time.
it
And
is
yeah. Jesse,
Natural habit,
he took
guys.
the mic. He took the mic from me. But yes, I was just talking about how we've had such a great time here this weekend, and it is our first CrimeCon. Kathy has been many times, but this is our first. And it's been great to meet the viewers that watch us all of the time. We love our viewers, and we've had a great time making new friends here who we hope check us out.
You know, it was amazing how dedicated and invested all of the viewers are in certain cases. They've been following it. They really appreciate our coverage. I think the number one thing that I got, and this is not to toot our own horn, is they really appreciate the down-the-middle analysis, in sense we give both sides, we give them what the evidence is, we give them what the facts, we're not slanted, and they really appreciate that, because they talked about how there has been misinformation out there about some big high-profile cases. So I'm glad that we're able to do that. And let me tell you something. They were big fans of the Anjanette Levy.
Jesse has his own Prime Time with Jesse Weber Magnets, so he's a big hit.
No. This is Anjanette. They were very excited. You know, by the way, just to let everybody know, what they loved Anjanette for was Pike County.
Yes.
People liked her Pike County coverage.
Yes, I have been covering that case, very sad case, since 2016, since it happened, April 22nd, 2016. Horrific case, but everybody's been very kind and very welcoming here. Jesse, you are going to be a part of the Clue Awards tonight, so tell us a little bit about what you will be doing this evening.
I'm very excited. I'm going to be presenting America's Greatest Detective. It's our first award, I think, that Law and Crime has ever produced for the Clue Awards. And it really highlights some of the incredible investigative work, teamwork that different investigators have done across the country. We have 3 amazing finalists. We have a genetic genealogist, we have a cold case detective, we have somebody who works in the conviction unit, and these are 3 incredible people. I think just nominating them and them all being here is an award in and of itself, but we do have an award. They will be granted that award, and not only that, a $5,000 cash prize. I'm told it's going to be towards the middle of the award show, so be on the lookout, but I'm very excited to present on behalf of Law and Crime.
And we just interviewed Detective Looney, who worked on the Stanley Ford case that we covered here at Law and Crime, and he's one of the nominees, and he was very honored to be nominated. I just hate that we had to pick, that everybody had to pick somebody to win, because all 3 of them are so incredibly impressive and have done really great things.
They say, everybody's a winner, but the truth is they really are all winners, because what they ended up doing for the community, for the victims' family members, to actually provide justice for a lot of people, that's the win in and of itself. We just wanted to highlight, we're highlighting all 3, but, when you give out an award, it's got to be one winner, and the people have voted, so we will see who that winner is.
And we're really looking forward to introducing the viewers over the next half hour or so to the other two nominees. So very impressive. Jesse, I know you have to fly out in the morning, unfortunately, but what has been really your most favorite part or your favorite part about CrimeCon? I know you moderated a conversation today with Nelson DeMille, author, but what has really stood out to you here this year?
Yeah, that was a particular highlight. I'm a huge fan of Alex and Nelson DeMille, but that was a personal thing. For me, it was really meeting all the fans, meeting all the supporters, meeting all the people that watch Law and Crime, to look them in the eye, know that we're doing something good for them, hearing the feedback, hearing how much they appreciate it. I don't get that all the time. I don't know if you get that all the time, but to have that many people come up to our booth and really feel that way, it was... Thank you so much. That's all I'll say. Just thank you. It was great.
And we appreciate that everybody enjoys that we, try to play it down the middle. We call the balls and strikes. We tell you when we think something's going well, when it's not, for either side. So that's been really cool. And we always strive to get it right. We're not perfect, but we strive to get it right all the time.
And I've got a lot of great hair compliments. So that was solid. I'm going to take that away from me and keep that in my brain.
You need to go in and blot, I think, and check the hair. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of that, keratin oil or whatever.
Absolutely. And Jeanette, you're doing a great job. Continue the great work. Bye, everybody. I'll see you at the Clue Awards.
Stay tuned, everybody. Thank you, Jesse. Let's go walk around a little bit. We have a chopper going overhead, so it's a little bit loud, but let's see if we can mingle a little bit. We don't want to bug anybody, but we'll see if we can maybe talk to some more people out here in the crowd. Hi, would you like to speak with us? We're doing kind of a little show here. I'm Jeanette Levy with the Law and Crime Network. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Robin from Austin, Texas.
Oh, so you came you traveled quite a ways to get here. Robin, why did you come to CrimeCon, and is this your first time?
No, this is my third time. I don't know. I always leave CrimeCon inspired to do something to help victims, and I don't know, everything's so fascinating and a good learning experience, and yeah, it just feels like such a cool place to be, and with like-minded people, so yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. Have there been any of the panels that really you enjoyed, one more than the other, something you came here and kind of stumbled upon that you weren't expecting?
On the spot, I think I didn't really know much about Othram, so hearing about the DNA stuff that they're doing was fascinating to me, so that was super cool. Yeah, mostly that, I think. Everything else has also been super amazing, and Nancy is always so cool to see live. She's so such a character, so yeah, it's been really awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. Othram, for those of our viewers who may not know, they work with the FBI to solve cases using genetic genealogy. And that's something that I'm really fascinated by. That's a new technique. It's a relatively new technique that's been employed over the last several years by law enforcement, where you basically trace somebody's family tree using DNA. And it's when they submit their DNA to those sites, as you're trying to trace your heritage, and they go into a database. So you were able to learn more about Othram at this event.
Yes, lots more. We went to the VIP ride-along with Othram, and it was just really fascinating to hear how many cases they've solved and unidentified remains that they're identifying and finding the victims. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and I know I interviewed Kristen Middleman on Sidebar recently about identifying Karen Vergata, one of the sets of remains that was found along Gilgo Beach on Long Island, and it feels like every other week or so they've got somebody new that they're helping to identify or a case they're trying to solve. Let's talk to your friends here.
Yes.
Hi, ladies. How are you? What's your name?
Thank you. My name's Liz. I'm actually her sister from Austin as well.
Oh, you're from Austin. Is this your first CrimeCon?
No, I've gone to a couple as well. So we went to the first one in Austin, and then I had to miss out last year, but I'm excited to be back.
Now, you're going to the Clue Awards tonight.
Yes.
And what is your favorite part of the Clue Awards, or what are you most excited about when it comes to watching the Clue Awards?
Well, I'm thrilled. This will actually be my first Clue Award, so I'm thrilled to see what it's like and get to know what it'll be like. I'm very excited.
Are you having a fun time?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
What has been one of your favorite segments or presentations that you've seen?
They've all been so fascinating. It's always fun to just stumble into things and learn about a new case. But we did find it very interesting today to see the Murdaugh attorneys, to see them back to back and see the differences. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I popped into Creighton Waters, the prosecutor in the Alec Murdaugh case. I popped into that session for a little bit, and then I watched a lot of Alec Murdaugh's attorneys, Jim Griffin and Dick Harpootlian. Was there anything in particular that stood out to you from either presentation?
It was interesting to see the crowd's reception, of course. I'm definitely interested to hear more going forward about the new trial possibilities and things like that. So it was interesting. The defense attorneys could talk a lot more about that, and they were very tight-lipped about it with the prosecution. So I'm curious what they have on their side.
Yeah, there's not much that the prosecution can say at this point. They're kind of bound by some rules and some ethical constraints, so they can't really talk about it at this point. But the defense can be more open about it because it's their motion. They've uncovered some information that they believe will lead to a new trial for Alec Murdaugh. And I actually interviewed Dick and Jim earlier today, and we're going to be bringing that to you in the next few days on our YouTube channel on Law&Crime. So we're very excited about that. What is your name?
My name's Lauren. I'm also from Austin. I grew up with both of them, but I'm working in Washington right now, so I flew all the way from Seattle.
Is this your first CrimeCon, or have you been?
My second one. I went to Vegas last year, and this has been a great experience here in Orlando.
What are you looking forward to from the Clue Awards tonight?
This is also my first Clue Awards, but I'm just excited just to feel the kind of the sense of community at CrimeCon in general, and then particularly with the Clue Awards, where it's really highlighting the people who are really making things happen in true crime and in kind of the community as a whole on here.
Yeah, definitely. Now, are you here tomorrow as well, or do you leave tomorrow morning? You here for the duration?
I'm here for the duration, and I'm going to stay an extra day to, visit Orlando, go to Universal.
Oh, exciting. I went earlier this year, and it was great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. We really appreciate it. Now, one of the awards, as I told you just in the last several minutes, that will be presented tonight is America's Greatest Detective. And we are introducing you to those nominees, and we have one of them right here. Ma'am, your name, please. I know that we have a couple of detectives coming in. You're number 2. We've already interviewed Troy.
Okay, I'm Cynthia Garza.
And tell us why you were nominated tonight.
So I was nominated for the exoneration of Tyrone Day. I am the chief prosecutor of the Conviction Integrity Unit in Dallas County. That's Texas. And and so essentially my unit handles cases where there's allegations of wrongful conviction and actual innocence. And so Mr. Day's case was one of those.
So tell us what happened and how you got a hold of this case. Obviously, you're in the Conviction Integrity Unit. It's your job to review cases that may be questionable.
Yes, so Tyrone Day's case came to us many years ago. So I started in the Conviction Integrity Unit in January of 2010, and that case was already in the unit by the time I started. So I've been looking at that case off and on for several years. And more recently, we started having a little bit more information come in through DNA, and we were able to speak with our complaining witness, and that's how we were able to solve his case, figure out he was actually innocent, and move forward from there.
What was it like for your complaining witness to realize that the wrong person had been convicted?
Yeah, so it was very difficult for her. She felt very badly. And, the situation was kind of different in this case. So it was a misleading report that kind of, led to Tyrone's arrest. But, ultimately we know that he was not involved in this crime.
How much time did he do?
Oh, goodness. He was arrested in 1989. And he was paroled out, I want to say, several years ago. So I believe it was 33 years, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a really long time. Mm-hmm. Was he awarded any type of money from the state?
Yeah, so in Texas we have a compensation packet. It came about through the Tim Cole exoneration. Tim Cole was a person who was wrongfully convicted. He was actually innocent of his case. He passed away in prison before he was formally exonerated, but he was posthumously exonerated. And in his name, legislation was passed in Texas allowing for compensation of wrongfully convicted people. So in Texas, the compensation is $80,000 a year for every year someone was wrongfully imprisoned. And then they also are eligible for an annuity of $80,000 a year thereafter, and other benefits as well.
Is there any hope that you can actually hold somebody accountable for this crime after a wrongful conviction took place?
Unfortunately, the statute of limitations is not something that's favorable in this case, so it's been expired. So even if we could pursue charges, that wouldn't be something we would do at this point in time.
Of course. Well, when did you find out that you had been nominated for America's Greatest Detective, and what did you feel when you learned of that?
So I found out, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something like that. I was very honored to be nominated. This is a huge honor. Law&Crime is an awesome network. Everybody knows about Law&Crime. I was just honored, really, and just beside myself, I guess you could say.
How are you enjoying CrimeCon? I mean, are you having a good time? Are you surprised at how big it is and how many people are here and how many people attend?
Honestly, yes. It's a huge conference. I did not expect there to be this many people. My understanding is something along the line of 6,000. Yeah, it's huge. And yeah, totally enjoying it. It's been a great experience so far, and looking forward to the sessions that are going to come on tomorrow.
Yeah, very exciting. Are there any sessions you've attended that you really enjoyed or were looking forward to?
Yes, so this morning we saw the conviction panel. So the exoneree who was exonerated of a crime that he was convicted for when he was much younger, and he went on to become an attorney. And then the podcaster who produced a show based on his case. That was an amazing panel to see. Also, BTK's daughter,
Carrie Rawson.
Yes,
she's a friend of Law&Crime.
Okay, yes. So her panel was absolutely amazing. So yes, but all the other ones have been great too. But those are the ones that really have stood out for me.
We're so glad you're having a good time. We're glad that you were nominated and wish you the best of luck. Is this your husband?
My husband.
Husband, what is your name?
My name is Hector Garza.
Hector, nice to meet you. How are you enjoying CrimeCon?
It's great. The conviction panel was great. I love it. The amount of people, I'm surprised as well. We've attended the same sessions, but it's great. I'm amazed. I'm so proud of all the work that she's done to be at this point. Her nomination, I'm so proud of her. So just the amount of work and effort that she puts into to her work is impressive, because she doesn't just do it in exoneration cases or in her casework. She does it in a sense that she just not only educates our county, but our state, our country about wrongful convictions, and even internationally she's gotten some calls to talk to them. So she does a lot of work and she cares about it, and she's been doing this even before she went to law school.
Wow, that's really exciting. Well, congratulations again. We will let you go enjoy yourself here at the cocktail party, and again, good luck. Nice to meet you guys. All right, that is our second America's Greatest Detective nominee. So we have one more to introduce you to, but first let's kind of spin around a little bit and see if anybody else here who's just kind of mingling around wants to speak with us. Hi, would you like to talk with us? We're kind of doing a live show here. What is your name?
Lisa Jennings.
Lisa, nice to meet you. Lisa, where are you from?
LA.
LA. Okay, so you came 3,000 miles or so.
I did.
Is this your first CrimeCon?
It's not. I work at Oxygen.
Oh, okay. So she has to be here, is what she's saying, for work.
Yes. I oversee Cold Justice.
Oh, great.
Which is nominated today at the Clue Awards. Good luck. Good luck. And there's some of our other shows are nominated as well. Snapped. Serial Killer, yes, and then Fatal Attraction Murders. We have a lot of shows.
Well, I'm really hoping I didn't get you in trouble by snagging you to talk with me without permission.
No,
but
it's proof of life. I'm at work.
She is here, folks, and she is working, and she is plugging the shows for Oxygen.
Yes.
This event gets bigger and bigger every year. The Clue Awards will be starting in about 18 minutes or so. Is there anything on the Clue Awards, anything that you're looking forward to in particular?
I'm just like excited to see. There's a lot of crime now out in the world. It's not just us, obviously, and we know more and more people are joining the game, and it's just nice to see all the different content and the different ways people are telling stories, getting people's stories out there. So I'm just excited to see what the judges appreciated and what they like best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great show. There are a lot of great programs nominated, and we have the America's Greatest Detective program that'll be going on that we're presenting tonight. So we're really looking forward to it too. Yeah. You have fun. I'm sorry I bombarded you while you're working.
You're good.
All right, she's working, everybody. Have fun. Thank you, guys. All right, we are going to introduce you now to our last nominee for America's Greatest Detective. She is Allison Peacock. So let's come on over here to the table. I see her. Paging Allison Peacock. Hello, I'm Anjanette Levy with Law&Crime. We should have met earlier, but Allison, you are one of the 3 nominees for America's Greatest Detective, and I am so interested in your work because you used genealogy to help reunite a family. So tell us a little bit about your work.
Yeah, well, so I basically use the science of DNA with the historical research side of genealogy combined together to identify unknown persons, whether it's a lost person who's unidentified or whether it's a criminal. It's an unknown person's profile that we can then put a face to.
Tell us a little bit about that case that you worked on. Just give us kind of the highlights.
Yeah, well, so in 2021, I was part of a team that was identifying a Jane Doe and a John Doe that were found in Houston. And as soon as we identified them, the first thing the family said was, what about their baby? And to come to find out that at the time they were murdered, they had a 1-year-old infant. And so we immediately went into overdrive trying to find the baby. Put out social media posts, did a lot of media interviews, started testing people's DNA, putting the family's DNA in all the databases. It was a long, slow process, and through about 6 different agency collaborations, we found the baby alive and well.
Wow.
And, 40 years later.
What was that feeling like when you were able to kind of solve the case?
Well, there's nothing like it. There's really nothing like being the person to know who someone is or where someone is when they've been lost for so long. It's a feeling that always makes the hair on my arm stand up, no matter how many times I do it.
Genealogy, genetic genealogy in particular, has really led to so many breakthroughs when solving cases, looking at cold cases, and now even active cases. But this was a particularly old case, and you were able to kind of bring a family together through your work. Have you been surprised at how much genetic genealogy has really taken off?
I have been, because if you think about the fact that until 2018, this idea was not a spark in anybody's eye. I mean, it wasn't a thing. It's so new. And the fact that it's filling a gap for so many old cases is just incredible. It's an opportunity that we've never had before.
So let's get to the Clue Awards. You're here at CrimeCon. You have been nominated for America's Greatest Detective. When you found out that you had been nominated, what was your feeling or your thought?
Well, shock. I was like, who nominated me? Immediately asked everybody I knew, but nobody will tell me. Just was shocked, but when you do something that you want people to know about, it's exciting when they find it, and the act of reuniting Holly Marie a few months ago with her family led to the establishment of a nonprofit that we are funding other unidentified remains cases. And so that was my big motivation for participating when they called me. I just said, if it can help raise awareness about what we're doing, that's great. So,
what's the name of the foundation?
The foundation is Genealogy for Justice. And we exclusively help reunite families through DNA. Yeah.
Do you have a website?
We do, genealogyforjustice.org.
Well, we really appreciate you talking with us and sharing your story. This is your first CrimeCon, I'm assuming.
It is. It's my first CrimeCon.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm having a fantastic time. I mean, the shock for me is that there are so many people involved in Holly Marie's case that are here today.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, people from the NECMEC team, people from the forensic artist team that put together her age progression portrait, somebody that works for the company that funded the grant that we used to do the case. I mean, just a lot of people, and I'm shocked. It's like a reunion, you know?
Yeah, really. Everybody's kind of connected in some way to that case. Well, maybe Holly Marie will come to CrimeCon sometime and share her story.
Coming out in November, so I am going to kind of be putting a seed in her ear about coming next year and selling her books. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you and good luck tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Well,
it.
the Clue Awards are going to be starting very soon. We're going to have to wrap it up here, but we want to give you just another quick look at the VIP party here going on, the pregame festivities, if you will, here at the Clue Awards and at CrimeCon. A lot of great people doing a lot of great things here, and a lot of people will be recognized for their work and their contributions. So we want to send it back to the Clue Awards, which will be starting momentarily. As I said, I'm Anjanette Levy with Law&Crime, coming to you live from Orlando. We'll send it back to you and enjoy the show.
sweetie. You're fine, sweetheart.
Ready for the Clue Awards! Live on Law&Crime YouTube! I don't know what I'm doing.
Probably not. It's probably gonna be.
I don't know what just because the thing was over.
No, just.
with someone you love so, and that's where it's at. Yeah, your world turned upside down. You're making not a sound, no one else around. That's where it's at. Yeah, let me tell you, your heart beating fast. You're knowing that time will pass, but hoping that it lasts. That's where it's at. Oh yeah, that's where it's at, pretty baby. That's where it's at. Oh yes it is. That's where it's at, pretty baby. That's where it's at. Oh yeah, and oh yeah, but let me tell you this one thing. To say it's time to go, and she says, yes I know, but just stay 1 minute more. That's where it's at. Oh, let me say it one more time. That's where it's at, pretty baby. That's where it's at. I know that's where it's at. That's where it's at.
The 2023 Clue Awards are about to begin. Please take your seats.
No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
Is there anything you want to say to your surviving family member?
That would be the last time I saw her.
A single gunshot wound to the front of his chest.
It took 2 days to find her body.
I'm innocent.
Murdoch. That name means power.
It's gonna be okay. She's gonna come back.
And no parent should ever have to bury their child.
I can't. It's not fair.
They found the baby.
Baby's found.
10-4.
I've literally made that decision the day I held her in my arms that I would always fight for her.
First homicide case where I got to meet the victim.
She's out there yelling and screaming.
Where's the real Kelly Siegler? Would you get a DNA sample and prove to me it's you?
911, where's your emergency?
Has he actually went after any person?
Very little information how Gus was shot and killed.
The unimaginable for any family is for a member to be murdered.
At age 75, Alan Bregman is found guilty of second-degree murder with a firearm.
To finally have justice for her, it's a big sigh of relief.
I feel really good getting this monster off the street.
I sentence you for the rest of your natural life.
You must never walk free again.
It's time for the 2023 Second Annual Clue Awards. Please welcome to the stage your host, former Orange County, California Senior Deputy District Attorney, current ABC News legal analyst, and the tallest host we've had by far, Matt Murphy.
Welcome to the 2023 Clue Awards. I am so happy to be here. When they asked me to do this, I immediately said yes. Kelly McClear, who I've mentioned before, she organizes with Kevin this whole thing, and I've learned to just say yes to whatever she asks me to do. So we have the conversation, and I'm excited about it, and then we hang up the phone, and I immediately thought, uh-oh, I've never hosted anything before. I was talking to my buddy Jesse Weber backstage about 10 minutes ago, and he's like, don't worry, dude. As long as nobody comes out of the audience and slaps you in the face, you're already doing better than Chris Rock. So I thought, last year we had Dan Abrams, and I'm thinking, he was awesome, right? And I'm thinking, are people going to say, who the hell is Matt Murphy, and why is he hosting the Clue Awards? So, working for ABC News, so we have to have a promise that nobody's going to tell ABC News this, but I'm a surfer from Manhattan Beach who just couldn't do math, so I went to law school. I stumbled my way into law school, and then I stumbled my way into the DA's office, where I spent 26 years prosecuting sexual assault and homicide cases. But the other part of the uh-oh is that I immediately went to work trying to research how do you host something. So I started watching the Oscars and the Golden Globes and the Grammys, and it is remarkable how many of those hosts sing and dance. And a lot of you don't know this. For those who do know me, I actually had a musical career. It's true. It's true. It began when I was 5 years old, and it ended when I was 5 years old. My mom took me down to the local piano teacher, Mrs. Atkinson, who was a very nice elderly lady back then, and she lived forever after that. I think she was over 100 when she passed away. And I got 2 lessons. And the protocol for all the moms in the room, you drop your kid off for piano lessons, and then you pick your kid up. And I distinctly remember Mrs. Atkinson putting me in her car and driving me back to my house. And she said, Joan, my mom's name was Joan, she said, Joan, please don't take this the wrong way. Your son has absolutely no musical talent whatsoever in any way. In fact, he is so talentless, every student that occupied that space at my piano is worse off for him sitting there. I probably need to relearn how to teach the piano, and if you are ever driving by my house, please make sure he's not in the car. So Mrs. Atkinson, who I'm sure is watching us right now from wherever she is thinking, please, God, nice people do not give that child a microphone and an opportunity to sing. But the more I thought about it, I realized that hosting this is not all that different from prosecuting a case. Although there are many skills needed to be a successful prosecutor, some of the more important ones are preparation, credibility, and of course, no shortage of charm. So first, let's talk about preparation. As a prosecutor, you have to do your homework. When I would prepare for a case, I would spend years, oftentimes, reading police reports, affidavits, studying and analyzing forensics, listening to audio taped interviews, things like that, just kind of like leading up to tonight. In preparing to give out these awards, I've watched and listened to and read about all the nominees. Some of them I actually knew from before. And each of the categories we're honoring them in tonight, which include, for TV, Outstanding Docuseries, TV, Outstanding Episodic Series, True Crime Book of the Year, America's Greatest Detective, Outstanding Documentary Film. For podcasts, we have Outstanding Episodic Series, we have Outstanding Docuseries, and we have People's Choice. And then, of course, we have one of my favorites, Crime Fighter of the Year. So now in terms of credibility, as a prosecutor, my job was to be fair and honest and respect the legal rights of all, while being sensitive and empathetic to the victims and their families. Credibility in hosting the Clue Awards really goes to the heart and credibility of what the Clue Awards are all about, which includes commitment to leadership, understanding, and excellence in true crime media. Because telling true crime stories comes with great responsibility, it's not just entertainment, as some might like to say. It's about education. It's about advocacy. It's about, once again, deep service to the victims and their families. It's relatively easy to produce sensationalized tabloidy content about serial killers. It's much harder to educate people, to make them think hard about their preconceived notions, and to ensure that you're considering all of the important voices, especially, once again, from my point of view, the victims and their families. So tonight we're going to find out who's not just able to tell a compelling story, but who can tell it the right way. And then once again, lastly, there's charm. So I am definitely ready to be your host, and I promise to you good people that I will not sing, and I will not dance either. So come along with me as we honor the very best in true crime, TV, podcasts, books, and more. Good luck to all the nominees. Let's get started and have some fun. Our first presenter of the evening is the star attorney who went to great depths. So bad. To help win one of the most high-profile and debated defamation cases of all time. And this is kind of a funny little side note. This woman was one of my students in a high school constitutional rights mock trial program where I taught her for 3 years. So please welcome to the stage the one and only, and my personal favorite, Camille Vasquez.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here at the Clue Awards and in Orlando, just down the street from my old friend Captain Jack Sparrow and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney World. The ride is great, I think we can all agree, but can be a little bumpy at times. Tonight I'm here to present the award for TV Outstanding Docuseries, the kind of show where they follow one case for an entire limited series run. The nominees in this category take a deep dive into stories like the 27-year-old unsolved case of a missing 6-year-old girl, a story of sex, drugs, male strippers, and murder. There are 2 in this category about a popular small-town Southern lawyer who killed 2 members of his own family. I think we all know who that is about. And one that examines how untreated trauma can be a motive for murder. Let's meet the nominees.
The nominees for television Outstanding Docuseries are Dateline NBC, NBC Universal, I Just Killed My Dad, Netflix, Half Yard Productions, Low Country, The Murdaugh Dynasty, Max, Campfire Studios, Secrets of the Chippendales Murders, A&E, Big Fish Entertainment, Still Missing Morgan, ABC, ABC News Studios, and Scott Free Productions.
And the Clue winner is Secrets of the Chippendale Murders, A&E. Unfortunately, our winner could not be here tonight, but Lucille de Acosta, executive producer, has sent in a video acceptance.
You guys, did we just win an award? Thank you so much. We loved making Secrets of the Chippendales Murders, and we could not have done it without our trusted friends and partners at A&E. So we'd love to accept the award on behalf of us and behalf of them. So thank you again, and to our fellow nominees, congratulations.
Our next presenters are two people who know a thing or 20 about true crime investigations and reporting. He is the co-creator and host of chart-busting podcasts Up and Vanished, High Strange, Radio Rental, and Atlanta Monster. As if that wasn't enough, he's also the co-founder of Tenderfoot TV, whose projects have amassed, and I had them read this back to me when we were doing prep for this, 800 million downloads to date. That is a lot of downloads. Joining him, she is an attorney, former prosecutor, trial expert, and award-winning journalist who has brought her vast legal knowledge and reporting skills to host Court TV Live each weekday. Oh, she's also a former dancer and cheerleader for NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins. I didn't know hockey even had cheerleaders. So maybe somebody will dance for you after all tonight. Please welcome Julie Grant and Payne Lindsay.
So, Julie, on top of being a journalist and a legal expert, once upon a time you were a Pittsburgh Penguins cheerleader?
I was. Did you just hear that?
I did just hear that in the back.
I was, yeah. Did you all know, here's a little known fact, that on top of being an investigative reporter, investigative podcaster once upon a time, Mr. Payne Lindsay here was a rapper. I swear it's true.
All right,
he was a rapper.
You've been doing some investigating too today on Google as well. Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I would just say, you know, if you were me, like, what would my rap name be?
Oh my gosh. You're so much more creative than I am, Payne. What would your rap name be?
Filibuster Rhymes.
Yes, perfect for CrimeCon, right? Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna never say that ever again in my
I know,
life.
yeah, we're just gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that
We had to
from your
break
brain.
the ice
Yeah.
coming out here. And now, without any further ado,
I mean, tonight we're here to present the award for TV episodic series, the kind of show where a new case is covered each episode.
yes, and the nominees in this category tackled stories ranging from the intense challenges of solving cold cases.
To the tragic murders of 6 college students.
Yes, the high-pressure life and death environment of a 911 call center.
A prosecutor and a team of detectives working to solve cold cases in small-town America.
Yes, and a deep dive into questionable deaths, asking if the answer might be one of 3 possibilities.
Let's meet the talented nominees.
The nominees for television Outstanding Episodic Series are 911 Crisis Center, Oxygen True Crime, Warner Brothers Unscripted Television's Shed Media, in association with Green Lakes Productions. Accident, Suicide, or Murder, Oxygen True Crime, Dorsey Pictures, a Red Arrow Studios company. Cold Justice, Oxygen True Crime, Oxygen True Crime, Wolf Reality, and Magical Elves. Death in the Dorms, Hulu, ABC News Studio, and the Intellectual Property Corporation. Finally Caught, Super Channel, A&E UK, True Crime Network US, Black Watch Entertainment.
And the winner is
911 Crisis Center!
Hi, everybody. We are the executives that oversee this amazing show, 911 Crisis Center. Miranda is the day-to-day point executive who brought this series to life, but she has been having an amazing time at CrimeCon this weekend and lost her voice. But she's going to accept this award, but I will fill in for her in case you can't hear her. Here we go.
Okay, I really did lose my voice, but it's kind of hot.
Kathleen Turner.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting. We should thank Shed Media, Adam Casson, and the women and men who work at the Chagrin Valley Dispatch in Ohio. They care so much about the citizens of Ohio, and they are the first responders. They don't get enough love and attention, and this show was so helpful in showing how hard it really is to do that job, and we're very proud of it, so thank you. I can't believe this happened.
Thank you very much for the recognition. We are grateful.
They are a father and son duo like no other. Father is a decorated U.S. Army veteran, author of 22 novels, 7 of which made it on the #1 New York Times bestseller list. Son is a screenwriter, editor, and director who in 2018 was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Live Action Short. Together, they wrote the New York Times bestseller, The Deserted, and have a new thriller out next month called Bloodlines. Joining us now, 2 men with one set of incredibly talented genes, Nelson and Alex DeMille.
So,
you're up.
I'm up. I'm up. Alex, it's nice to share this night with you. We already write books together, and now we are presenters at the Clue Awards, which is very cool.
It is nice, Dad, and I do want to thank you for your good genes. I'm thankful for what I got from you in here, not so much what's happening over here, but...
All right. Very, very funny.
Was it?
No, actually not funny. But. So tonight, my witty son and I are here to present the award for True Crime Book of the Year. This category recognizes autobiographies and biographies, as well as investigative writing of current and historical true crime cases.
And the good news is that people still read books. And... The nominees this year wrote engaging and thought-provoking books that include A Medical Examiner's Fight for Social Justice,
and an investigation into a series of murders in the Jerusalem of South America,
a modern-day application of forensics in the stories of the best-selling novelists of all time,
and one journalist's quest to solve the murders of 2 women in a national park,
and a memoir from one of the most sought-after cold case investigators.
Are you ready to meet the nominees, Alex?
I am. Are you?
I am.
Then here they are.
The nominees of Book of the Year are American Autopsy, Dr. Michael Baudin. The Murders of Moisesville, Javier Sinai. The Science of Murder, The Forensics of Agatha Christie, Carla Valentine. Trailed, One Woman's Quest to Solve the Shenandoah Murders, Catherine Miles. Unmasked, My Life Solving America's Cold Cases, Paul Holes.
And the winner is, you ready, Dad?
I am ready. Okay. Trailed, One Woman's Quest to Solve the Shenandoah Murders, Catherine Miles. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Bill Thomas from the Colonial Parkway Murders and the Mind Over Murder podcast, together with my podcast host, Kristen Dilley. Kate couldn't be here this evening, so she asked me to accept this on her behalf, and she has a video greeting.
Hi, I'm Catherine Miles, the author of Trailed. On behalf of my very wonderful editor and publisher, Betsy Glick, and the entire Algonquin book family, I want to thank you for this tremendous award. I don't have to tell everyone in your audience here that writing true crime can come with a real psychological cost, and sometimes you can really feel like you're toiling in the darkness. And I'm so incredibly grateful for the entire CrimeCon family, from the podcasters who have hosted me, to the fans who have written, to Oxygen choosing the book, and CrimeCon choosing it as a book of the month as well, too. It really means a lot to be a part of this community. And most importantly, I'm so incredibly grateful that this community has kept the story of Lolly and Julie alive. And hopefully, because of your continued work, they and their families will eventually find justice. Thank you so much, and happy reading.
Okay, so presenting our next award is attorney, anchor for the Law&Crime Network, co-host of their podcast Sidebar, and I learned recently an actor, also known as a thespian. He actually worked alongside Russell Crowe in Showtime's The Loudest Voice. And I was actually privileged to sit on a panel with him last week in New York for Elizabeth Vargas. And you'll see in a minute, for those of you who don't know him, we're sitting on the set, and she's asking us very, deep questions about an ongoing murder case in Los Angeles that some of you are following, probably. And it's live TV, which is a different gig. And I keep looking over, and his hair is perfect, as you're about to see. So please welcome to the stage the Justin Timberlake of true crime, Jesse Weber.
Thank you, Matt. Everything you said is exactly true. It is great to be here, and it is true. I have dabbled in acting. I've got to say, watching Russell Crowe play Roger Ailes was pretty amazing. I played reporter number 1. Big stretch for me, my Daniel Day-Lewis moment, really getting into character. Tonight, on behalf of the Law&Crime Network, I am so proud to present our first annual America's Greatest Detective Award. Now, this award recognizes and honors the individual or team behind some of the most stunning and effective investigations in recent history. And not only will the winner be honored and crowned with the title of the 2023 America's Greatest Detective, they will also receive a $5,000 cash prize. The nominees include a lead investigator from Ohio, a Texas prosecutor leading a conviction integrity unit, and a New York-based genetic genealogist. It's time for you to meet these dedicated and inspirational nominees.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Garza. I am the chief of the Conviction Integrity Unit of the Dallas County District Attorney's Office. Recently, my team successfully litigated the exoneration of Tyrone Day.
In 1989, Tyrone Day was charged with sexual assault at 19 years old. He accepted a plea deal by prosecutors and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. In 2015, after serving 26 years behind bars, he was granted parole, but had to register as a sex offender for life. 7 years later, he's walking a free man, thanks to the work of Garza and her unit. They excluded Tyrone Day from the crime scene by uncovering DNA evidence. Garza's unit also tracked down a witness who identified Day in 1989 without even seeing his face. Since 2010, Garza has helped exonerate over a dozen wrongful conviction cases and continues to work with the Dallas Conviction Integrity Unit to advocate for the innocent behind bars.
My name is Allison Peacock. I'm a forensic investigative genetic genealogist. I helped to reunite Holly Marie Klaus with her family in a 41-year-old cold case.
In 1981, the remains of a man and woman were found in Harris County, Texas. With no DNA technology available, the remains weren't identified and the case went cold. Behind the scenes, genetic genealogy was making its way into the world of forensics, combining DNA evidence with family history to advance the search for unknown remains cases. In 2021, Peacock used this new technology to relaunch an investigation into the case and positively identified the couple as 17-year-old Tina Klaus and 21-year-old Dean Klaus. After collaborating with several agencies across multiple states, Holly Marie Klaus was found the following year, solving a 41-year-old mystery.
Hi, hello, my name is Detective Troy Looney. I'm an investigator with the Akron County Police Department, where I led the investigation into serial arsonist Stanley Ford.
The case starts on Fulton Street in a suburb of Akron, Ohio, between 2016 and 2017. 2 houses went up in flames, leaving 9 people dead. With a community left frightened and devastated, Detective Looney led a nationwide hunt for answers. By interviewing residents on Fulton Street, he was led in the direction of Stanley Ford, a man with known animosity towards his neighbors. Through additional evidence gathered from Ford's interrogation, surveillance footage, and items found at both locations, Detective Looney and his team developed a timeline of the fires, pointing back to their prime suspect. In 2021, Detective Looney's investigation came full circle when all the evidence was revealed in Ford's criminal trial. This led Ford to be convicted of aggravated murder and arson charges and get locked up for good.
And the winner is Cynthia Garza.
Jesse, Law&Crime, CrimeCon, and to everybody who voted. Thank you to my family, my husband, and my kids, and the District Attorney's Office that I work for, Judge John Crusoe. I just want to say that I really appreciate this time and the platform that you all have given to this cause that's dear and deep within my heart. I've been doing this type of work for many years. This is a work that comes from my heart. I am a public servant in that regard. And I just want to say that this is not a Dallas County problem. This is not a Texas problem. This is a nationwide problem, an issue that needs to be addressed through advocacy, criminal justice reform efforts. This is an issue that affects more than just the person that was wrongfully convicted or their family members. This affects our victims who never have received justice because somebody who was wrongfully convicted for the crime that they were victimized for. That needs to change. Our communities have also been affected. And you know, this is, like I said, something that I deeply want everybody to think about. And if there's ever a chance for criminal justice reform efforts that you can support, please, I ask you to do so. Thank you so much.
So our next presenter is a woman that I actually used to watch when I was in law school. And as a prosecutor, you know you've kind of arrived when she starts talking about your cases. And I reached a point when I started doing the high-profile national media stuff, I would watch her just to listen to somebody say all the stuff that I couldn't say publicly yet. She is, I think a lot of you know who I'm talking about already. She is famously bold, she is brave, and she is famously blonde. A broadcasting pioneer with boundless passion for prosecuting criminals, exposing injustices, and advocating for victims' rights, and a special place in my heart. And she's a mighty fine dancer in her own right because I actually watched her on Dancing with the Stars. Please give a very warm welcome to CrimeCon's Queen of Selfies, Nancy Grace.
Wow, good evening. It is so wonderful to be here with you tonight. I don't know what to say about that awesome introduction, but also tonight is a night for all of you pioneers to be noticed, to be lauded, and most of all, in my mind, to be encouraged. First of all, if I could see our nominees up on the screen before I announce the winner. They want me to talk about me on Dancing with the Stars.
The nominees for Outstanding Documentary Film are Murdaugh Family Murders, ABC, ABC News 2020. Serial Killer Capital, Baton Rouge, Oxygen True Crime, Jupiter Entertainment. The Fatal Attraction Murder, Oxygen True Crime, E1. The Fire That Took Her, Paramount Plus, MTV Documentary Films and Motto Pictures. The Last Strike, ABC, ABC News 2020.
And the documentary film winner is The Fire That Took Her from Paramount. Guys, our winner could not be here tonight, but Patricia Gillespie, director of The Fire That Took Her, has sent a special video for you.
It is such an honor to have our little underdog film recognized by the Clue Awards. To me, this award represents the future of nonfiction crime storytelling and its potential to catalyze change and highlight stories that matter. We made this film for domestic violence advocate Judy Malinowski and her family, but we also made it for the 1 in 4 women who will experience domestic violence in their lifetimes. So if that's you or if that's somebody you love, we made this for you. Judy's story is for you, and we hope that you will find it. Telling this story would not have been possible were it not for the fearless Sheila Nevins at MTV Docs, who took a bet on us when no one else would, our production partners at Motto Pictures, the people at Paramount Plus, my amazing agent Andy Stabile, and a huge crew of incredibly talented individuals who worked tirelessly alongside me to make sure that Judy's story was told and told well. Thank you so much for this honor. We deeply, deeply appreciate it. This one is for Judy, and this one is for the girls.
Let's talk about the jury, shall we? When I was a prosecutor, I completed 132 jury trials. And I really liked and respected all of the jurors, especially on the cases I won. But whether a person is giving their precious time and attention to fulfill their civic duty, or they're giving their time and attention to watch, listen, and read through the submissions for the Clue Awards, Both are deeply appreciated and deserve to be recognized. So first, let's give a round of applause to all those who have been on or will take part in jury duty. It has always amazed me how many times my friends will come up to me at barbecues or whatever and go, "Hey man, how do I get out of jury duty? I want to serve it." And then they're always the first to complain when something goes wrong. So I sincerely encourage everybody who gets a chance to do that. It's fascinating, especially if you get the right judge, the right lawyers. I guarantee it will be a good experience. And now I think we should thank our jury, the people who carefully went through these Clue Awards and went through ensuring that the projects we recognize tonight are truly the best of the best. Let's give them a round of applause, the jury of the Clue Awards. Now, when they say don't mess with Texas, what they really mean is do not mess with our next presenter. As Harris County's district attorney, she was equal parts pit bull prosecutor and ardent advocate for victims and their families. Her show, Cold Justice on Oxygen True Crime, has racked up 56 arrests and 24 convictions. We're delighted to have her here tonight, Kelly Siegler.
It's great to be here. Cold Justice, winning last year for Outstanding TV Episodic Series, was a dream come true. We were working the case in Florida when we found out about it. This year, I'm thrilled to be here presenting the award for Outstanding Podcast Episodic. Podcasts that cover a different true crime case in each episode. And I think they asked me to present this award because the nominees in this category and I share similar goals and sensibilities. We are all determined to leave no stone unturned in our investigations in order to catch the most dangerous criminals and get justice for our victims. The nominees include an Atlanta cold case investigator working diligently to solve open cases and bring justice to the victims and their families, a journalist who has busted over 400 sexual predators, all caught on camera, a veteran newswoman who takes on killers and the accused like only she can, a podcast dedicated to shining a light on missing persons and bringing them home safely, and two guys who are deeply passionate about telling a wide range of true crime stories, everything from murder to injustice to paranormal activity. Here are the nominees.
The nominees for Podcast Outstanding Episodic Series are Crawlspace, Glassbox Media and Crawlspace Media, Dateline, Missing in America, NBC Universal, My Life of Crime with Aaron Moriarty, Paramount, Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen, Next Horizon Media and Garner Creative, Zone 7 with Cheryl McCollum, iHeart Podcasts and Crime Online.
And the winner is Dateline, Missing in America.
These cases are so important to bring awareness. The biggest thing about these cases is working with the families. They struggle, they fight, they're resilient, and somehow they still have hope that their loved one is going to be found, and they're going to be the ones to find them. And there was one in particular episode of a missing girl, and her name's Keisha Jacobs. The heart of that story and that particular episode was her mom. And her mom has never given up hope, and she is fighting to find her daughter and to bring her home. And she is the most amazing, resilient, and wonderful person that I have had the honor to work with. And I want her to come and talk about this. This is her mom, Toni Jacobs.
I'm gonna try to do this without crying because it's amazing to have people who want to tell your story. They want to treat you like family and sit there and understand that your child is missing and it's important to you. And I want to thank you because that's how I felt when I did the podcast. And I'm so appreciative for all that y'all have done to put Keisha's story out there. And Keisha Jacobs is coming home.
This man is no stranger to these parts. He's the writer, producer, and co-host of Bone Valley. His book, Devil in the Grove, won the Pulitzer Prize for General Nonfiction in 2013. And I can tell you from personal experience, he's just one of the nicest people you could ever meet in true crime. Please welcome to the stage, Gilbert King.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here back at the Clue Awards and back in Florida, I think. Matt's doing a great job tonight, isn't he? His preparation, credibility, and dare I say, incredible charm. I just said it, he's incredibly charming. Are coming through like the superstar that he is. I'm here tonight to present the award for Outstanding Podcast Docuseries. Podcasts that focus on one case over the course of multiple episodes or an entire season. I know what these nominees went through in order to tell these long-form stories. Doing a deep dive on a case can go on for months and years. Bone Valley, which is 9 episodes and 4 bonus episodes, I might add was challenging. It changes relationships, you become obsessed, you eat, breathe, sleep the case, because half-assing it is not an option. The nominees in Outstanding Podcast Docuseries include a story of a man who was wrongfully convicted of the gruesome death of an 18-year-old girl, a reinvestigation into a madman who terrorized the country for 18 years from his cabin in the woods, the abduction and murders of 6 young girls in Washington, D.C., the case of a black woman from South Carolina who went missing in 2004, and the story of a man who viciously murdered his family and eluded capture for 18 years. Roll the tape. Let's meet the nominees.
The nominees for Podcast Outstanding Docuseries are Father Wants Us Dead, NJ.com. Finding Tamika, Audible. Freeway Phantom, Tenderfoot TV, iHeartRadio, and Black Bar Mitzvah. Project Unabomb, Pineapple Street Studios in association with Apple Original Podcasts. Dateline, The Girl in the Blue Mustang, NBC Universal.
And the winner is Freeway Phantom.
like to thank everyone who voted for Freeway Phantom, but honestly, this award is for the girls and for every other Black and brown girl whose story remains untold and their voice has not been heard. And this is for their families for trusting us with their story. This story touched me. I don't know if I can ever share that enough. And I thank Tenderfoot TV and of course my brother for letting me take as long as I could for us to pull this story together. And thank you to Detective Jenkins and to law enforcement officers who never stop fighting 52 years for these cases to be heard on a bigger platform. And thank you for podcasting for giving us this platform and to the Clue Awards. Thank you.
Our next presenters are co-hosts from the ever-popular, and I love the name of this, Small Town Dicks. Not to be confused with Small Dick Town, which is a totally different podcast. They're now in their 12th season. I didn't even know podcasts have been going for 12 years. And there are 4 of them. And you know by now I can't say their names until the end. So here we go. Let's take them one by one. First, he is a best-selling author, podcaster, and TV host, and famously helped identify a man that I prosecuted, the Golden State Killer, who was in fact one of the most prolific and vicious serial killers in U.S. history. Next, he is a violent crimes detective, canine handler, and expert in crime scene analysis. Joining them, he is a crisis hostage negotiator and former detective investigating sex crimes and child abuse cases. And last but certainly not least, she is an Emmy Award-winning actress, novelist, and playwright. You will recognize her voice because since 1987, she's been the voice of Lisa Simpson on Fox's hit show and American icon, The Simpsons. Please give a big hello to the Small Town Dicks, Paul Holes, Detective Dan, Detective Dave, and Yardley Smith.
Thank you so much. It's incredible to be here. I'm Yardley Smith. Maybe you know that by now. I am actually married to Detective Dan. And he is the twin brother of Detective Dave. And then there's the outlier, Paul Holes. And we are the hosts of Small Town Dicks.
Yeah, so, Small Town Dicks is really a family. And so I, as a cold case investigator, I needed to get down and see exactly what was going on here. In fact, I was wondering, am I related to any of these individuals? And it turns out I did some genealogy, and Dan, Dave, and I are 8th cousins.
That is great. Welcome to the family, Paul. So happy to have you. Now, moving on. We are here to present the award for People's Choice Creator of the Year.
Let's just say it's no surprise the nominees who were chosen. CrimeCon attendees voted for their favorite creator from those appearing on Podcast Row.
And did you know that thousands of votes were submitted? And they were narrowed down to the most popular 5.
That's right. And these 5 nominees are not just popular, they are dedicated to conducting meticulous research, reporting, and investigating while never forgetting who matters the most, the victims and their families. Let's meet them, shall we?
The nominees for People's Choice Creator of the Year are A Date with Dateline, Kimberly Arnold and Katie Mitchell. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace, Nancy Grace. Crime Weekly, Derek Lavasser and Stephanie Harlow. Defense Diaries, Bob Mata. The Prosecutors, Alice LaCour and Brett Talley.
And the winner is?
I have the winner. The winner is the prosecutors, Alice LaCour and Brett Talley.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys first for this. I mean, I don't know. I want to thank my wife because we couldn't do it without her because she's the one who's taking care of the kids when we're recording. Jason Ussery, who does the editing. Hannah Hill, who does the awesome artwork. Go buy her stuff. And you guys. I love you guys. I can't believe this. This is shocking.
This is beyond shocking. We don't deserve to be up here because all of those nominees are our favorites. And so thank you for just, giving us the ability to dive through what we thought you guys would think to be boring evidence, and to give us hope that people care about the evidence and have critical thinking skills. And this is how we want to go about our cases and how all of you join in on these cases with us. And thank you to the best co-host of all time, Brett, and of course my husband, because he is taking care of lots of kids right now. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Here to introduce our 2023 Crime Fighter of the Year recipients, our last year's inaugural winners of the award. Their heroic activism has ignited a movement demanding that missing and exploited people of color are in the forefront of public consciousness. Please welcome to the stage two incredible women, two powerhouses, really. The co-founders of the Black and Missing Foundation, Derica Wilson and Natalie Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here.
Yes, it is, and I can't believe it. A year has already gone by.
Exactly. It seems like yesterday we was just here. This award is so important, and I'm honored we're here to present it to this year's honorees. When I started my career in law enforcement, becoming the first Black female police officer with the City of Falls Church Police Department. Thank you. Then becoming a certified human trafficking investigator, I knew it was the beginning of the work that needed to be done in our communities.
Missing persons of color have been largely under the radar and sadly not reported by mainstream media. But with my expertise in media relations and as a publicist for thousands of families desperately searching for their missing loved ones, it has been rewarding to secure media coverage and partnerships to help amplify our cases on a local, national, and international level. And I'm equally proud that we are using our expertise in media relations and law enforcement to help find those missing from our communities.
Being honored last year with the inaugural Crime Fighters of the Year for our work with the Black and Missing Foundation is an honor that we will never forget.
Absolutely. And tonight, we are here to present this year's Crime Fighter of the Year Award to an organization born out a family's gut-wrenching tragedy.
Dedicated to helping survivors of domestic violence, assisting local authorities in finding missing persons, and recognizing it's up to us, all of us, to make a difference in our communities.
Hello, and good morning. We never expected this to happen to our family.
Some things need to change, and those changes need to come.
We're pretty broken because of it. We miss her so much. But we saw it as an opportunity to help other families.
The Gabby Petito Foundation holds its first fundraiser aimed at helping families of missing children.
He and his wife Tara donated $15,000 for renovations on behalf of his daughter's foundation.
She's with us. She's with us.
She's with us. Through our tragedy with losing Gabby, that in the future, that some good can come out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the recipients of the 2023 Crime Fighter of the Year Award from the Gabby Petito Foundation, Nicole and James Schmidt, and Joseph and Tara Petito.
That video, thanks Kevin and everybody, and that was rough. We didn't feel like we deserved this, but because Black and Missing, we're like, wow, sitting to them, they're amazing. We respect you so much, and I don't even know what to say, I'm sorry.
We know Gabby's here with us. We felt her, we feel her signs, we know she's here. And she is giving us the strength and power to keep going and moving on. And we are so honored to be here and meet so many amazing individuals here tonight. So we actually have a surprise.
We have a surprise we wanted to let everybody know. So we see the remarkable work that Derica and Natalie do for the Black and Missing, and there is a huge disparity when it comes to the way missing people are shared. So please come up here for a second, please. Because there is a huge disparity. And we here collectively can make that difference and fill that gap to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. And that's going to take everyone here to do that. So please, if you can, when you see that missing person flyer come up on your social media, share it, especially ones that don't look like you, because that's the most important.
So we are presenting a $15,000 donation
to the Black and Missing Foundation, and we hope that you all can do the same as well. Thank you, everyone. Together we can make the difference when it comes to domestic violence. Please share the stories, please share the flyers, and together we can change that world so we can make it a better place tomorrow. Thank you very much.
awesome is that? We're almost done. Before we close, I wanted to share something with you guys. As a homicide prosecutor in Orange County, we would go to our own murder scenes. Most jurisdictions don't do it that way, but we were assigned certain cities. And I just wanted to share with you, I wish everybody in this room could see some of the things that I have seen, not the bad stuff. But I'm often asked, how do you do that for as long as you did and not have it impact you? You know, you see these horrific things committed to innocent people. And what you see at 3 in the morning when you go to a crime scene is you see dedicated professionals who are behind the limelight, working their fingers to the bone, without complaint, oftentimes in the bitter cold, and they're there to bring justice to the victims' families. And after we would go to the crime scene, if necessary, we would go to the autopsies, and those are heavy things to see, especially in children. And then I would always meet with the families. And I always made it a personal point to give my personal cell phone number out. I never regretted doing that in 21 years between sexual assault and homicide. But you see the grief, a mother's grief in particular, but fathers, brothers, sisters. And a lot of people are thrust into that. They have no idea until the moment it happens. And it is the worst thing a human being can go through. And very quickly, they learn that there are good people in the world and there are bad people in the world. And we all know that sort of somewhat intuitively, but until you're in that situation, nobody really understands it until they're in that dark place. And they look for people like those unthanked crime lab personnel who are there with their bowl cut haircuts in the middle of the night. They don't look like CSI, by the way. But there are good people that are pulling for them. And when I look out in this group, one of the reasons why I was honestly so honored to be asked to do this, and the reason why I participate in this every chance I get, is because I meet a whole bunch of people who care. And people who come to this and spend money on this event and meet with other people and want to learn about these various disciplines and want to learn about the science, read the books and all that kind of stuff, it means you are part of the good. And this means such a tremendous amount to the victims of violent crime, you have no idea. Now, there are people in this room that have experienced it and people who haven't. But after my career, I just want to let you know on a personal note how much I appreciate you. And you guys have very graciously given a lot of rounds of applause for a lot of people. I would ask right now for a round of applause for yourselves. Please join me in applauding you. So, the second annual Clue Awards is now in the history books. I believe there's going to be more cocktails when this is done. I will certainly be having one. And it has truly been an honor to be your host. So I want to congratulate all the winners, all the nominees, and really everybody who works in the true crime space. As far as I see it, everybody is fighting for justice, investigating open and cold cases, bringing attention to the missing and exploited, and also to the factually innocent who have been wrongfully convicted. All while respecting and never forgetting, in my view, the most important people in all of this, and that is the victims and their families. So thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Good night.
a sugar and spice. So nice, so nice, I got you. When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can't do no wrong. And when I hold you in my arms, my love can't do me no harm. And I feel nice, a sugar and spice.